This important message has been brought to you by the International Spa Association. iSpa promotes the value of the spa experience and is the authoritative voice fostering professionalism and growth. Hi, this is Tanya Chernova, and welcome back. I'd like to introduce you to Kat. Kat is the front desk person that I met in line when I was on my last trip to Las Vegas. At the last iSpa show, actually, I went in to buy something and I got sidetracked and I bought foundation and a whole bunch of other lipsticks that I probably didn't need. And when I was standing in the lineup speaking to Kat about what Las Vegas show I should see and what she liked, I caught a glimpse of her button that said, "Ask me about the eyeliner that you want." And I immediately realized that I actually went in there for my liquid eyeliner and I didn't even pick it up. And that's when I looked at her frantically and said, "Do you think I can still buy something?" And then she looked across her station and saw the guy that was still there, and out came across this thing like a spear in the distance, a liquid eyeliner that I actually still use today. And that was an instant $39 US upgrade. What happened in that scenario? What was interesting was that, it wasn't Kat, the actual salesperson for Sephora, that sold me something. She was busy making a personal connection with me. She was busy creating my guest experience. She was making me feel excited about being in Las Vegas and welcome at Sephora. But it was the conscious salesperson that was on that button that sold me my eyeliner. And that's the lesson here, is that if we're relying solely on the service providers that are in direct contact with our guest, they are likely too caught up in busyness of being human to remember to ask them for all of the different things that they might want. The conscious salesperson is one of the most important things that you could implement in your spa and salon today, because that's the missing link to getting you to increase both your retail and your service sales. So how can you do this? What's the best way to do it? So you can follow Sephora's footsteps and you can speak directly to your guest. And listen, you don't have to put a button on your front desk staff. Like clearly, I don't want you to think, oh, so many of these other sort of, retailers, a button, likely my staff will not wear that. It's okay. You can make it into a really beautiful frame and put it right on your front desk counter. And we'll talk more about the strategies of implementation in the next segment. But in this segment, it's about discovering your authentic voice. What does your conscious salesperson sound like? You can follow the example that Sephora had given, where you can speak directly to your guest in that first person voice, or you can actually make a conscious salesperson be like they're reading their mind, like an "I want," or "I dream of," or "I wish for." And then when your guest is reading that, then they think, yeah, that's like they're reading my mind. I do want that. And very much that conscious, persuasive, suggested type of sales technique that's still very authentic, because, clearly people will buy what they're really drawn towards. If that statement pertains to them, then they'll jump on it. And who does not want to look younger and fresher when they wake up? Another way to speak to them as if you're their best friend. So we look at the example of Victoria's Secret. And normally you would look at some of the Victoria's Secret models and feel a little intimidated by those people or by those women that are in the pictures. But when it says "Hello Bombshell" or "Hello Gorgeous" or "Hello Shorty," and then writes the price of the product, it makes me feel like Victoria's Secret is my best friend and she's speaking directly to me, making me feel like I too could kind of be like her in her club. And then I feel less intimidated to try things on and buy things because I feel included. And then there's another way of doing it where, if you look at this picture and you only saw this collection of juices from a distance, would you be interested or inspired to buy? Would this stimulate your buying desire? And what about now? And you see the difference when you have these highly vibrant visuals that really illuminate the whole purpose and the why behind what you're selling. It just makes it so much easier for your guests to say, "I want that." And that buying desire is stimulated so that they're running to the shelf and getting it all on their own. The other thing with your conscious salesperson is to really rely on your mission statement. So, for example, if you look at Mary Trippi, a really famous day spa in Toronto, their mission statement really is "always be glamorous." And when I talked to them about a KPI that they wanted to increase, one of them was, for example, pre-booking. And you know, like every spa and salon, they run promotions on pre-booking. They stimulate their service providers and their, you know, estheticians and therapists and stylists to talk about it. But it's always so much effort. And really, most people pre-book only when there's an actual promotion. Instead, we leveraged their mission statement and said, always be glamorous. Book before your next visit. Authentic, connected, and lasting. Now we're teaching our guest to be a certain way that's modeling our values. And also those guests that believe in being glamorous want to actually pre-book because they realize the importance of it. Always be glamorous. Come in for your makeup update. Always be glamorous. You get the idea. So you look at this sandwich board, and I love this so much. And if this was the 10 spot, and they do waxing and manicures and things, another sort of day spa. And they say there's a Brazilian reasons to come get waxed here. I love that. Or another one, which was W Salon and Spa, and it says, come in, we're awesome. So what's great about that is that instead of saying, come in, we're open, which is so like, come in, we're open. This is so uniquely personal. It makes me feel like there are some really amazing people in there. Now that you're establishing your conscious salesperson, what is your authentic voice? What is your mission? What are your values? How will you start speaking to your guest in these suggestive tones? And for your next assignment, what I'd like you to do is think about a KPI or a key performance indicator that you'd like to achieve or you'd like to grow. For example, is it, you know, pre-booking? Is it an increase in retail sales or service sales? Or perhaps you're looking to attract new guests to the spa. So think about a KPI that you'd like to achieve and then ask yourself, what would my ideal conscious salesperson say in order to get my guests to feel inspired to buy or take action? In the next segment, you're going to learn the do's and don'ts about how to create a promotional offer or an offer that your guests cannot refuse using your conscious salesperson. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And in the meantime, enjoy this process, get really connected to that authentic voice that you have, and get excited about this journey with me.